Guess it is time I have to talk about Kobbie Mainoo. I've been dreading this conversation for so long right now, but it's high time that I speak about Kobbie Mainoo. It has been reported today that Kobbie is not going to be signing a new contract, admitting that he's having a lot of problems with his lack of playing time. You see, it's quite difficult for me to actually see the situation because I understand what Kobbie is doing. I understand that this could have been a negotiation tactic to get what he wants and also get to a place where nobody's going to deny him the place or the playing time that he wants to play for Manchester United. But it's a little difficult in my mind to kind of see that this is the way things are right now, especially because Manchester United have been struggling with their midfield for the past few games, especially 2 games in the past. We have been struggling with our midfield, not understanding, and with our midfield being bypassed very, very easily, us not being able to control the game, us not having, honestly, the technical ability to then bolster our midfield. And the truth about it is, I spoke about this before, saying that instead of us doing the whole Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount experiment, it should have been Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo, or Mason Mount and Kobbie Mainoo. It should not be then Manu Ugarte coming in. However, looking at this situation, it was already spoken in The Athletic, in this article by Laurie Whitwell, that Kobbie Mainoo, appeared dejected, appeared frustrated after Fulham's game when he did not play a minute. And you don't need to be a body expert to see that. He was angry, he was frustrated, he was annoyed by the fact that he was not going to be playing a minute in the second game of the season when Manchester United needed control, especially after the first goal. But this is my point. If the manager has conveyed to you that he sees you as one of the double pivots, if he has conveyed to you that he sees you as one of the double pivots, and he sees you as the replacement to Bruno Fernandes, that to me is a challenge. That to me is saying, go take his place. That to me is saying, that is where I want you to play, and that is where I believe that the big plans that Ruben Amorim said is going to be situated. And that also is where I would say that's where the work starts. We saw what Kobbie Mainoo did in the summer and how he bulked up and how he was working on his explosivity, and we have seen the fruits of that. Because the first game we watched in the preseason with him playing with Manu Ugarte, it was absolutely brilliant. I saw a Kobbie Mainoo that would be able to control the midfield. I saw a Kobbie Mainoo that would be able to be a midfield general. And I saw that, and it was pretty clear to me that Kobbie Mainoo is here to stay. But then the season starts, and I need us to remind ourselves that this is 2 games in the season. And yes, I believe that because it is less than a week to the transfer window closing, that is why this situation is coming up. That is why they pulled the lever of this negotiation tactic. And it might not be a negotiation tactic anymore. He might actually want to leave Manchester United. But the truth about it is that I need him to be undeniable in that position. Right now, he is not. Let's all make it as crystal clear as possible. Right now, Kobbie Mainoo is not undeniable in the midfield position. We play with a midfield 2. When Erik ten Hag was here, we played with a midfield 3. And Kobbie Mainoo was a staple in that position. And when I say staple in that position, he was one of the undroppables, also with Bruno Fernandes. But now it's a midfield 2. Now is a situation where you actually have to fight for your place. And this situation should make you a better player. You should be the first person in the training ground and the last person. They need to kick you out of the training ground. That is what it needs to be. You understand? That right there is what it needs to be. They need to be forceful in kicking you out of the training ground, because you want to do better, because you want to be undeniable. You understand? You want to be undeniable, and that is the key part of this situation. And when you are undeniable in that sense, you become a better player, because there's really no downside to that. There's really no downside to you working hard. There's really no downside to saying, I've done all I can. It just did not work at Manchester United. Yes, you're a Manchester United boy. You're a supporter from grassroots. And we all know the picture and love the picture. But the truth about it is, you need to fight. Now, let me talk about Ruben Amorim. This has to be a situation that is putting him in a very tough spot. Why do I say this? Manchester United fans love their history. We love it feels like a religion to majority of Manchester United fans. And one of the records of us having an academy player in the first team for over 50 years now is one of the key religion to us. We are so proud of that streak, and we do not want that streak to end. That streak is not a streak of tokenism. It's not a streak that, okay, we are just going to put them in there for putting them in them's sake. They actually have earned the right to be there. And Kobbie Mainoo is one of the last ones that have earned the right to play for Manchester United in the academy, and he is in the team. And so you letting him go, being the person to let Kobbie Mainoo go, who is the last one. Of course, Marcus Rashford is in Barcelona. Garnacho is probably going to Chelsea. You being the coach to let him go, it better be the right decision. It better be the right decision, because what we are hearing now is that Kobbie Mainoo's Manchester United career is over. It better be the right decision, that is who you are letting go, because we all live and die by our decisions. We all live and die by our decisions. And if that is your decision to let Kobbie Mainoo go, you are putting a marker on your career as Manchester United manager. You understand? You are putting your career, you are putting the marker down. That's one of the reasons why we saw Erik ten Hag leave. The fact that we never gave Ahmad a chance under Erik ten Hag was a problem. The fact that we never gave Alvaro Carreras, and now he's playing for Real Madrid, we never gave him a chance, was a problem. And this situation, yes, Kobbie Mainoo is fighting an uphill battle. But one of the key things about football is that hard work is never a bad thing. Whether you're going to see the fruit of your labor in Manchester United or somewhere else, you are going to see the fruit of your labor. And I understand that this is a World Cup here, and he wants to be with England in the World Cup. But the key thing about this situation is, Kobbie Mainoo is still 20 years of age. We have played only 2 games this season, and I truly believe that Kobbie Mainoo is going to be the successor to Bruno Fernandes. Why do I say this? Why do I bring this in this video? Because I honestly believe, based on how things are going, based on the way things are moving, and based on what Ruben Amorim said in the big plans, Kobbie Mainoo probably is the starter for Manchester United next season. And why do I say next season? Because I believe that Bruno Fernandes would be out of Manchester United, or will be phased out of being Manchester United's number 1 creative force. That is what I believe. Based on the moves that we have made, based on the things that we have done in the transfer window, Bruno Fernandes stayed this year because we do not want a lot of changes in this team. We wanted a standing figure, a figure that would absolutely be the guy to stable the ship. But once the ship is stabled, we are going to be seeing Bruno phased out. And I truly believe that Kobbie Mainoo will be the midfield general after that. Now, the deal is, how are we going to be able to convince him to sign a deal? Because he has 2 years on his contract left. How are we going to be able to sign to convince him to sign a deal based on that promise alone. It's going to be difficult, because this is where the agent will come in. If we are not playing many games this season, then we are going to be getting paid more than we expect. You understand? Those are the negotiation tactics that work. Those are the negotiation tactics that happen. And so the key thing about this situation is that Kobbie Mainoo, I do not believe it's over for Manchester United yet. But the way things are going, Kobbie Mainoo might be out of Manchester United before we know it. And it's less than a week. On Monday, September 1st, the Premier League transfer window is going to be closed. And Kobbie Mainoo might be somewhere else. We might be seeing Bayern, Real Madrid, PSG, because he is that kind of quality. He's a quality that can play for any single top side in the world. So the key part of this is Ruben Amorim, Jason Wilcox, Omar Ben Rada. There's a conversation that needs to be had. And we got reports yesterday that those conversations are going to take place with a decision in 48 hours. And today we have heard that the price tag of Kobbie Mainoo right now is £45 million, which is crazy to me. Because if it was Brighton that Kobbie Mainoo was in and he wanted to leave, we would be looking at 75 to 100 million for that type of talent, because he's worth every penny. But the truth about it is that let's not do whataboutisms, and let's not focus on what could be. Let's just focus on the reality. I want Kobbie Mainoo to stay at Manchester United. I want Kobbie Mainoo to be the midfield general, and I want Kobbie Mainoo to be given more opportunities, because I've given an example so many times. Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Enrique, the best manager in the world right now, does not play, I repeat, does not play with a solid defensive midfield. He plays 3 center midfield that all of them in community make sure that the defense is protected. And that is how he has gone and won the Champions League. That is how he has gone and won the Ligue 1. That is how he has gone and won the Coupe de France. And that is how I believe Ruben Amorim should try and see if Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo could play together. Because we have seen Kobbie Mainoo play the lone 6 under Ten Hag, and he did pretty well. And so I believe that is something that we need to try. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button if you haven't. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.